Do you see this wicker basket? This is the basket our son Nathan carried yesterday when he went hiking along the northern shores. I had fixed him a little lunch of 5 loaves and 2 fish. Should be enough for a growing lad, wouldn't you say? But do you know what that rascal did? He came home late last night with this basket full and overflowing with bread, and had a tall tale about sharing his lunch with a stranger who took it and used it to feed thousands of people. Now, when he told me that, I was so disgusted, and I said, "Ayah, Nathan, there you go again, telling your tall tales. What are we ever going to do with you? Perhaps it is time for your father to give you a good thrashing." But Nathan would not change his story even under the threat of a thrashing from his father. And to make things worse, our neighbor lady Rachel came over and confirmed his story. She said she was there and saw it with her own eyes. I know what you're thinking. I am just a little bit crazy, and I don't blame you, because sometimes I wonder about it myself. But let me tell you what happened, and then you can decide for yourself whether Nathan and Rachel have made up a big fish story, or if they really saw a miracle from God. Bethsaida, that is our home on the Sea of Galilee, along the northern shore. Oh, there is such beautiful hill country up there, and some desert too. Nathan loves to hike there, and it's safe enough, and so from time to time we let him go. And so yesterday I fixed him that little lunch of 5 loaves and 2 fish and sent him on his way. He walked through the hill country without incident, but when he got to the desert, he found thousands of people there, and they were all seated around Jesus. You know, that carpenter from Nazareth we have been hearing so much about. And Nathan said that he pushed through the crowd and sat down on the front row and listened to Jesus teach about the kingdom of God all day long. I can hardly believe that, because I can't get that child of mine to sit down or to be quiet 5 minutes at a time. And with his own eyes, Nathan saw Jesus make the lame to walk and the blind to see. And people there were saying that Jesus is the prophet promised by Moses. When Jesus finished teaching, the day was far spent, and now all the disciples were gathered about Jesus, talking intently and waving their arms and pointing at the people. Nathan said he thought they looked a little angry. And then an amazing thing happened. For one of those men with Jesus came right over to Nathan and asked him if he would be willing to share his lunch. And Nathan said he had forgotten all about his lunch. Now, can you believe that? That child, that growing boy, eats all day long. But then he realized he was getting hungry. But he said for some reason he felt very happy to share his lunch with that Andrew. But then he followed him to see what he was going to do with his lunch. And he took it and put it in the hands of Jesus, who held it toward heaven and blessed Jehovah. And then he broke that bread and fish into many pieces and divided it among the disciples and said, "Now you give this to the people to eat." And Nathan followed Andrew, and he said that they passed that food out from the front row to the back row, and everyone ate their fill with his little lunch. And there were 12 baskets left over. And he said he counted them twice. 12 baskets